Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to share with you tips and insights on a significant transit, Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Venus, which rules love, money, romance, beauty, sparks of our inner genius, and more. Venus is in Capricorn for 4 whole months. Normally, Venus transits a sign for 1 month or maybe 6 weeks at the most. So to have Venus in Capricorn for 4 whole months, to me, is the universe infusing us with such a level of support so we can clear away past energies that are in the way. We can clear out obstacles to our sense of deservingness, our ability to receive what we give out, to receive it back, to receive love, abundance, prosperity, and to have that knowing deep within our soul, that knowing within every cell of our body that what we are creating, what we're focusing on is our birthright, is for us. So this is important, this is deep, this is significant. And I'm going to get into the specifics of it and some of the aspects that are happening and how you can navigate this time. But first, I just want to say hello to those of you who are new to me. I'm Betsy Gutting. I'm a soul guide, an intuitive life coach, and a psychic astrologer. And I love empowering you to free yourself, to follow your heart. I have a gift for you at the end of this video, so stay tuned. I'm also going to pull a card from my tarot deck here as we get toward the end. And if you're liking this video, click like, subscribe to my channel so you will get the next video as soon as it comes out. Okay, so Venus retrograde in Capricorn. First of all, the dates. Venus just went into shadow. Shadow is the zone that it will be in while it's retrograding. It just went into shadow November 17th. What is significant about this? November 19th, 2 days ago, is when we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. And if you missed my video on that, I'll link it below. I'll try to remember. But watch that video, because that video, the Taurus full moon eclipse, was all about us up-leveling our self-worth, all about us increasing our sense of worthiness. And we've been working on this for some time now. So here we have Venus going into retrograde right about the same time, just before we had the Taurus eclipse that was ruled by Venus. So you can see this theme, you can see where the universe, your higher power, your higher self is supporting you to create a transformation in this area of your life. And I feel so strongly that so many of us, this is true for myself, this is true for my clients, this is true for my friends, my daughters, that we all have something we want to birth into the world if we haven't already. And we are so done and so tired of feeling snagged. You know, like when you snag your sweater on a twig, it's like, oh, a brand new sweater and I already have a hole in it. And you get snagged on those voices of self-doubt and that inner critic and that, it's ancient stuff, maybe from past lives or from your childhood that isn't true about you, and yet it's unconscious and it comes up and it slows us down. And it takes away our joie de vivre and our zest for life in creating what we want to create. So we want to clear that out. And we are getting what we need to do that during this Venus retrograde. Now, Venus, now in shadow, will not officially be retrograde until December 19th. We're in the shadow period. So you're getting during this time perhaps a glimpse of what this retrograde is going to be about for you. It will retrograde from December 19th till the end of January, and then it will continue its post-shadow period until early March. So that's the 4 months. Now, we have to look at Capricorn and the themes. Venus is retrograde will retrograde starting December 19th from 26 degrees of Capricorn down back to 11 degrees of Capricorn. So look at your natal astrology chart and see where do you have 26 to 11 degrees of Capricorn in your natal chart. This is the area where Venus and Capricorn is working on you. I have it in my 7th house of partnerships. You could have it in your 5th house of creativity, romance, and children, or you could have it in your 1st house where your ascendant is, which is your identity, your status, your body. You could have it in your 10th house of career and life purpose. You could have it in any of the 12 houses. So you want to check your chart and see where is this Venus retrograde happening for you. Capricorn is the theme. These are the themes that are going to be coming up. Capricorn is structure, is having a plan. Capricorn is an earth sign. It wants to plan. It's a cardinal earth sign, so it wants to initiate. It definitely wants to initiate new things. And it's the manager, it's the executive, it's the leader. Capricorn is also very ambitious and traditional, and it likes to know what the rules are. What are the parameters within which I am working? It can be sort of top-down authority figures. It's where we want respect. It's where it's ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn wants us to work hard. I laugh because, a lot of people have connotations about Saturn that are very negative. Oh no, Saturn's coming to get me. But the truth about Saturn is, yes, it can be very dry and stodgy and like no fun and super serious. But Saturn is where we're rewarded for our hard work. Saturn says, you really want this, you put in the time, you put in the work, you keep going, you don't give up, you if you fall down, you dust yourself off and you get back up again. Saturn is archetypally the father, so it could bring up father issues for you. Interestingly, because we had the full moon eclipse in Taurus and the moon is exalted in Taurus and this Venus retrograde shadow began then, it can also be tied to the mother line in addition. So I see this in the big picture as us getting a chance to reparent our inner child and to let that inner child inside of us know that he or she is worthy and beautiful and sparkling, and like telling your inner child the talents that you see, the gifts that you see, reminding yourself of that whenever you feel snagged, whenever you feel like the self-doubt comes creeping back in again. So what we want to do during this Venus retrograde in Capricorn is reclaim our inner authority. We want to, it's like when you don't feel that other people are appreciating you or validating you, and you let that take you down, coming back, emotionally taking you down, coming back to, oh, this is about reclaiming my inner authority. This is about Saturn builds strength in us. And again, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So it builds a strength and a resilience in us. And I feel that is what is happening with this Venus retrograde, is we are clearing all of this muck out of the way, the stuff that's not true about us, but we're also building resilience and strength, and we're learning that we can be an anchor for ourselves. It doesn't mean you do it alone. It's important to get support. It's important to collaborate with others and have others as allies. And, this isn't about you doing it by yourself. But there's very much of an inward focus during a retrograde period, a time of assessing, where am I? What do I need to do to shore up or create what my heart is most desiring right now? Now, I watched this video that really inspired me that I want to share with you. I highly recommend it. Do you know she's very well known, major actor in the United States, Rita Moreno. There's a Netflix documentary about her, and I wrote down the title so I wouldn't forget it, and it is Just a Girl Who Decided to Go For It. Just a Girl Who Decided to Go For It. Rita Moreno, she's a Sagittarius sun, and she is one of the few actors who have been honored with an Oscar, a Tony, a Grammy, and an Emmy. She's won all of those awards. But you know what is so poignant about her is that she came here in the early 1930s, came to the U.S. in the mainland U.S. when she was a very young girl from Puerto Rico. She's a Latina. And she came here and she knew, she said, from the very beginning, I knew I wanted to be in show business. I knew I wanted to be a movie star. But when she came here, she immediately saw the walls go up around her. She wasn't valued by the movie scene, the movie directors and all of that, because she was Latina. So she was cast in roles that were like the island girl that, she always spoke in an accent, or she always was supposed to speak in another language. And she was very, relegated to the sidelines. She wasn't allowed to have a personality. It was like, you just be this girl who's just an object, kind of an object for, the man that she was relating to in the movie. So it was really demoralizing for her. And yet she kept going and she kept going. And she got the role of, in the main female lead in West Side Story. She got that role, and she finally felt, even though it was kind of a stereotypical role, she finally felt that she could come out and be herself and show her personality and bring her charisma into it. But it took her 7 years after that to get another role where she felt like she could be her, really play a full-bodied female role, where she wasn't just, again, being the slave girl, the island girl, and so forth. So in this documentary, why it's so inspiring to me is she talks about how she didn't have self-value for so many years. She said, years and years and years, I felt unworthy. I felt worthless. I felt like I didn't have anything that other people wanted. And as time went on, she did lots of therapy. She began, and of course, won all of these awards. And yet, this is what is so incredible to me and poignant and so perfect for this Venus retrograde time. She says, and I wrote it down so I get it right. She said, when she was accepting an award most recently. Oh, and I have to tell you that she is 90 years old. And she just got a new, she had the documentary made about her, but she is in a series on Netflix as well. She's has a new role. She goes, the stars are aligning. I don't know what's going on, but she's having a career resurgence at the age of 90. Oh my God. She is, and you watch her dance, she is just moves around. She's just so nimble, and what a kick this woman is. And she's not like, oh, look at her 90, she's so cute. No, she's a gorgeous, sexy, fully alive woman at the age of 90, snagging a new series on Netflix. Oh my God. Okay, so this is what she says when she's accepting an award. She says, you'd think that once you felt the warm glow of recognition, you wouldn't fear the shadows anymore. But you know what? A lot of us still do. We keep dragging our past into the present. And then she said, so here's to leaving the shadows behind and embracing our light and shining our light. But I thought this was so poignant because here she is. She's had a full career from the age of 6 as a dancer all the way to actively acting right now on a Netflix series at the age of 90. And she's still talking about how we can fall into the shadows. So this Venus retrograde period is for us to clear more of those shadows out of the way. And it's conjunct, Venus is conjunct Pluto for almost a whole month, December 11th, until the beginning of January, Venus is conjunct Pluto. Pluto, the planet of personal power and passion and bringing stuff up from, our hidden, unconscious, whatever weighs us down and keeps us from being in our full light joyfully and playfully. Venus conjunct Pluto. This to me is incredibly powerful, will be incredibly powerful. Now, Pluto also rules the taboo, the, just things that we repress and we push down. So it's going to help us, I feel, bring up the source, the root of those stories, of those, the things that keep us small. It's going to bring that up for us to heal. And we also have Uranus trining Venus. It did during this full moon eclipse. So this is another energy signature. It's saying it's time to free ourselves. Uranus says do it differently, innovate, claim your own uniqueness. Don't sit in the shadows of what's not true about you. Claim your inner light, no matter how different. We need your different. We need your uniqueness. We need your freak flag to fly. And I'm speaking to myself too when I say this. We all, those of us who are highly sensitive, who are empaths, who grew up, a lot of us, just trying to kind of fit in or like navigate very stressful or chaotic home life, maybe situations where we didn't feel free to be ourselves authentically. Now, Uranus with Venus and Pluto with Venus are saying it is time. It is time to throw off that stuff that is suffocating you, that's making you feel like you can't come out and be your full authentic self. It's throw that stuff off. And it's time that we say yes to receiving abundance for our work and for what we give out, that we receive back what we're giving. So this is such beautiful energy. And we have the sun going into Sagittarius too, very shortly. The sun will be going into Sagittarius today or tomorrow, I think, which is fire. It's the fire of our hearts burning through all of this critical, inner critic stuff, burning through it. So this is all really good news, really, really good news for us to have a rebirth, to really come through the chute of that birth canal and really show up in different ways, not just for others, for ourselves, so we can have more fun and we can enjoy the process of what we create and what we do and our work in the world and our relationships and all of that. So let's pull a card. Let's see what the universe, what our higher selves, I'm asking Spirit to help me tune into all of you. Taking a nice deep breath, and I invite you to do so with me as well. And just letting your crown chakra open up to receive, imagining violet light pouring down from the heavens on your crown. Breathing it in, letting every cell of your body receive this violet light of inspiration, of truth, of the beauty of your own soul and spirit. And let's see what the cards have to say. A card on this Venus retrograde. Okay, what is it? The card is, ooh, I love this. It's the Sun of Swords. So swords are air energy, and the sun, it's interesting because it's the sun as in the male archetypal energy, but also the sun is shining in the background. So air energy, swords, is where we get stuck in our heads, is where we tell ourselves stories that limit us, that we don't, that cause us pain and stress and sleepless nights and worry. And the sun here, he's holding a sword. It looks like he's holding a bird in the other hand. He's out on this meadow with flowers at his feet. I feel that he just wants to succeed. He's like a warrior. He's like a spiritual warrior. You can see what he has on his head, his headdress. And he wants to conquer and claim with his male energy. So all of us have this male energy that wants to, that is what gives us our drive and gives us our ability to say yes and take action. And yet being in our heads gets in the way of that. So I feel that this is so synchronistically validating of everything that we just talked about, of, maybe you have a worry, you create a little, like a God box or a God jar, and you write down a worry every time you have it, and you put it in, you say, give it to God. Like, you take this, spirit, you take my worries, you take my stresses, you take my the inner critic stuff, because I'm trying to create right now. I'm going out as a spiritual warrior with my sword, and I'm cutting the cords to any fear. I'm cutting the cords to any relationships that don't empower me, and I'm invoking the spiritual warrior within myself, that masculine energy that allows me to say yes to my heart and what I most want. And in the background where the sun is shining, I see this treasure chest of gold, of like gold, riches, and treasures that is ours to receive as we cut the cords to anything that's in the way of us receiving what we truly want. So I thank you so much for your likes, for your comments, for your shares of this video, for turning others onto it so that the YouTube algorithm will share this with other people, and for your subscribe so you get the next video when I upload it. And as my free gift to you, I invite you to go to my website and download a free guided meditation, Returning Home to Yourself. I will be back very soon with another video. I wish you the most beautiful beginning of this Venus shadow period going into retrograde. And there's one more thing I forgot to say that I want to add on, bonus tip, which is this is not the best time with Venus in retrograde to starting December 19th to sign contracts, to jump into a brand new love relationship, to start a new lease, to get plastic surgery or anything that would have a permanent effect on your physical self. Those are all things that are better if you possibly can. I know sometimes we have emergency surgeries we have to do, but anything where you are making a commitment that is going to have an altering effect on your life in some way, better to put off until the end of January at least, when Venus goes direct. So I am wishing you a beautiful Venus retrograde beginning, and I will be back very soon with another video, and I'm sending you all my love.